And this is Ken Kraetzer with a special edition today. We're going to talk about a community project in Providence, Rhode Island, and we've got a couple of friends from Providence College, an alumnus, and also the director of their art program and their galleries. And I'd like to welcome Pete Peterson, who was a 1986 graduate of Providence College, and then also Jamilee Lacy, who is Director of Galleries. How are you both today?
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Very good. Let's start with Pete. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this project that wants to help improve and decorate the public basketball courts in Providence.
Well, my wife and I sold a business a couple of years ago, and one of our best friends from Providence College, Harold Starks, used to talk about how his home court, the pit, was transformative in his life. And so as we thought about it, we wanted every kid who grows up, every girl and every boy, to be confident and safe and curious and inspired. And so we had this concept of renovating basketball courts, but we were missing a key component. And by happenstance, Providence College actually was home to Jamilee Lacy, one of the most forward-thinking curators in the country. And so she was able to take our very basic concept and help us turn it into a revolutionary idea.
Very good. Well, let's introduce Jamilee Lacy, who is Director of Galleries at Providence College, something very important to the Dominican Order. Jamie, first, if you would, tell us a little bit about your background in the field of art and museums and what you do at Providence College.
Sure. I came to Providence College a little more than 5 years ago from Chicago, where I worked as a curator at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago and Northwestern University, where I went to undergraduate. My work focuses on artists who are living and making art today. So Providence College took a significant step 5 years ago and decided to formalize the galleries as a contemporary art program. So we bring artists from around the world to do exhibitions and projects, work with our students, work with the neighborhood and the city surrounding Providence College. So that's what we're doing, and we're trying to fill a niche in the state of Rhode Island, which does not have a contemporary art museum. So we're doing everything we can to bring as much contemporary creativity to this city and state as we can. You know, the old mantra of doing as much good as we can with art for as long as we can.
Well, absolutely. And I know that's very important to the Dominican Order. I'm a Providence College grad, so is my wife. And artwork is part of how they tell the mission and the story of the Dominicans and the church. And let's go back to Pete. How did you come about this project in terms of helping to improve the basketball courts at Providence? I know one of your classmates was a very good Providence College basketball player.
Yeah, Harold Starks was he was a 4-year starter, led the Big East in steals senior year. And we've been best friends since August of 1982, our freshman year. And so what I really want to do was help every kid be proud of wherever she or he was from. And as Jamilee helped educate us, in order to do that, you don't want to just repave the basketball court, though that's important. And you don't just want new nets, that's important too. You need significant art. In order to transform and inspire and elevate the hopes of kids, the art has to be really significant. And so she was immediately over my head. Through her connections, she seems to know every great living artist. And so she was able to get us in touch with artists who are really, really big deals in the art world. And we had a concept in 2018 that we talked to Jamilee about in May. 2 weeks later, I talked to Wendy Nilsson, who runs the Parks Department at Providence. And for some reason, she was all in immediately. And so within 6 months, we had repaved, resurfaced, and gotten the basketball court ready. And then Jamilee, through her contacts, had like one of the most outrageous designs we've done. And we were dedicating a court in October, 6 months from concept to finalization.
Well, that's great. And I'm sure the youth basketball players in the city really appreciate it. Jamilee, what was it like for you to learn of this opportunity to help decorate and enhance and inspire the basketball courts in the city of Providence? And how'd you go about developing the artwork that would be a good fit?
Well, at first I thought this Pete Peterson and Harold Starks guys were out of their mind. And so I really liked that about them. Artists are always the ones pitching the crazy ideas. So I liked it that the jocks were pitching a really wonderful, weird idea. So what we did was we did a bunch of community research. My students, my faculty colleagues and I, we went to the park that Pete and Harold had in mind. We spent probably close to 100 hours interviewing kids, families, folks on the courts in the surrounding park to see what they think was special about the neighborhood, what they like about being in that park. And that first park was really at the crossroads of the Providence College community. It's just a stone's throw away from campus. And a number of historically important immigrant, underrepresented communities. So we worked with an artist named Jim Drain, who's arguably one of the most well-known artists to come out of the city of Providence, to come up with a design that was inspired by the community and then also connected back to Jim's own work. So he gave us a design that seemed impossible, but with all of Providence College's alums, staff, students, and the surrounding neighborhood, we were able to put something on the court, paint it ourselves, draw it out with the help of an LA organization called Project Backboard. And I think it took us about 4 weeks to paint the actual court mural of Jim Jane's work. And it was fabulous. We had a wonderful turnout, and Mayor Jorge Alorza came and cut our ribbon. It was great.
Oh, that's neat. It sounds like the players would have really enjoyed that. And what is the location of that again?
It's Fargnoli Park. It's on Smith Street in the Elmhurst neighborhood of Providence.
Okay, well, we'll have to see that next visit up to Providence. Now, Pete, what's next for the project? I'm sure you've got some other spots picked out for Jamilee and her artists to help decorate.
Yeah, we did. So the second project we did was 2019. That was Harriet and Sales Park, and it was dedicated to a young man who had been an innocent victim of gang violence and lost his life over 10 years ago.
Too many stories like that.
And his mother, rather than moving away, put down roots in Providence and has dedicated her life to nonviolence. And so we knew that we wanted to make an impact in 19, and Jamilee found us 2 artists so that the courts at Harriet and Sales are side by side, full-length basketball courts. And Jamilee had the fabulous idea of separate artists united in a cause of healing, of empowerment, and of peace. And Jamilee, tell us about Jordan and Yori.
So Jordan Seabury is a fabulous artist, also from Providence, who commits his artistic career and his legal career. He's studying to be a lawyer, and he's been a legislative aide for the state senate here in Rhode Island. He makes a lot of work that sort of honors the stories of victims of gun violence. So he did a sort of ethereal portrait of this young man named Omar Polanco. And then Joydy Minaya is a Dominican-American artist who lives in New York. She does a lot of work that's about specifically Tropicalia and feminism, and how in the Dominican community and in Caribbean communities at large, women are often the healers, the peacemakers. So she designed a gorgeous mural of florals that have different symbolisms in both the Dominican community, but also in the sort of funerary, healing, so on and so forth. And we combined those two murals. The artists collaborated to kind of come together to present something that was, that honored this young man's legacy, but also honored the Dominican community, the Dominican American community surrounding those courts. So it kind of allowed us to bring sports and art together in a way that was really significant to the people who live there and the people who play on those courts, including Omar Polanco's family, because Omar actually organized pickup games. He was the leader in the community. So that court turned out perfectly. It was really significant for everyone involved.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And
Ken, some of the things that that Harold and I, way over our head, Jamilee had the concept of having the border around Jordan's court go around Yori's court and vice versa. And so they're connected in many different ways, metaphorically, artistically, spiritually, and in a healing sense as well.
very nice. Now, great to hear about this project. And how can, Pete, how can those who might be interested in supporting it, getting involved, or doing it in another community? This sounds like there's a lot of communities around the country that would be interested in this. How does someone find out more information?
They can connect with us through our website, which is myhomecourt.org. They can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My Home Court in Providence, Rhode Island. We would love to have some additional help, Ken. We would be thrilled to help any other organizations that would like to bring the concept into their community. We are incredibly lucky in Providence that we have Jamilee. We have a phenomenal creative director now at My Home Court, Kate McNamara, and we have the hardest working parks department in the country with Wendy Nielsen and Brian Burns and their team that have been working through this virus. This year is really important for us. We're building the first 2 new public courts in the city of Providence in over 20 years. So there are 32 courts in Providence today. When we're done, there will be 34, and we will have completed our artwork on 6 of the 34. So we have a lot left that we would like to do. So ways that people can help would be to follow us, to like us. There's a donate button. That would be great if people feel inspired. And literally today, the timing of our conversation is so awesome because we announced our new artist for this year, Andrea Burgard. And she's originally from Acton, Massachusetts, and she went to Skidmore, and she's got a master's from BU. But again, a huge deal in the art world that I wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for Kate and Jamilee. So we're really, really, really thrilled with this year's project. It's going to be absolutely tremendous.
Well, we're looking forward to when the virus has been put in the past, and so many recreational facilities will be able to reopen, such as basketball courts in city areas and around the country. Final word from Jamilee about why you like the project.
Yeah, I think the really cool part about the project is that it fulfills Providence College's mission to serve the community that serves us by letting us be here and be successful. And then I think especially this year, the project will embody how much you can accomplish if you are willing to work together. Right now, our friends at the Parks District are helping us get the court ready so that when the virus is over and everyone can safely come out and play, there'll be a brand new court with brand new art ready to go in September.
Very good. We'll get some pictures from Pete if you, and we'll put them in the comments on our posting of this video. No, thank you both Pete Peterson, a graduate of Providence College, and with the organization My Home Court, doing a great job redecorating and bringing art to the basketball courts in Providence. And Jamilee Lacy, who is director of the museums at Providence College. Did I say that correctly?
Providence College Galleries.
Providence College Galleries, and Northwestern graduate. Great to see you both today and hear about this very inspiring project that can help youth sports in Providence and other similar areas around the country. And certainly part of Providence College's heritage in basketball that goes back a long, long way. So thank you both. And for Sons of the American Legion radio special edition about this community project, this is Ken Kraetzer. Have a good day, everybody. Stay well.